Okay, hi, I'm Jeff Morris, and I want to tell you about who's using Couchbase and what the benefits that they're gaining are. So this will put everything that we've discussed earlier really in context. So you are indeed interacting with Couchbase all the time, whether it's going to Staples and shopping, shopping for or perusing their inventory. If you've ever taken a Carnival cruise in the last couple of years or a Princess cruise in the last couple of years, that medallion that you wear that is your room key and tracks you where you are on the ship, that's all powered by Couchbase. It's designed by the same guy who built the Disney Magic Band, also powering the amusement parks. Your TV catalog of shows is running Couchbase. iSync is a mobile customer of ours. That's an eye examination tool that's running Couchbase, and even we have a diabetes tracking application running on digital watches, kind of thing, right, that Northwestern built. So the use cases are really pretty diverse, but we find ourselves really serving large customer populations or employee populations because of JSON being great for account profiles and matching all of that information to really big dynamic catalogs of stuff, right? So stuff in the travel hospitality could be booking rooms at Marriott or booking your airline tickets over Amadeus or Sabre, or scheduling the pilots for United Airlines. In telco, it's looking after all of the networks and the boxes that are running Verizon's digital network, for example. In retail, it's the Louis Vuitton selling ceremony where they show you all their inventory across every store on a tablet and get you to buy your favorite Louis Vuitton bag. In financial services, FICO is using us for fraud detection, and they have 9,000 banks subscribed to them and are managing over 3 billion credit card accounts. So you can kind of, this is the use cases. These are the customers who are using us. I'll get into some of these case studies in just a second, but you can see they're household names that you recognize. So just in retail, right? Trendyol is the AWS of Turkey, right? They're managing their store, with millions of documents, hundreds of millions of documents. Their reads per second is, over 1 million reads per second, and they found that Redis didn't scale to their liking, so that's when they adopted Couchbase, and now it's become the standard database that they're operating. All of your Frito-Lay packages that Pepsi is delivering to your supermarkets and your 7-Elevens are getting routed, and the inventory is being managed at the truck level from Couchbase and Couchbase Mobile. So that's what Pepsi's doing there. Carrefour and Tesco are other, Walmart-like retailers in Europe, all managing their product inventories and their loyalty programs, things like that in Couchbase. Again, that whole notion of what do I know about my customer base and what do I know, can I match them with the right sets of products? Tommy Hilfiger is another one of these vendors who is made a digital showroom, via tablet to show you what their inventory or what you might look like in a new outfit. That's powered by Couchbase. Domino's, all of their point of sale offers and things like that are going on as they're selling pizzas during Super Bowl or during the NBA playoffs right now. If a playoff game goes into overtime, then they can actually retarget those customers with another offer and say, hey, look, do you want dessert or do you want another pizza because the Heat have pulled it off again and and pushed to a game 7 or whatnot. All of those are activities that Domino's is doing. In media and entertainment, right? We're found everywhere. We have millions of viewers that are using and accessing their services through Couchbase. So when you're streaming Yellowstone on Hulu, that's Couchbase. That's delivering that catalog to you and keeping track of where you left off in the show. But that's the same for DirecTV. It's the same for Sky and Comcast. Remember in the old days when Comcast had a terrible reputation for customer service? Well, they redid their customer service application in Couchbase, and that's what they got. And all of their service people are out there using Couchbase-enabled devices whenever they go and upgrade your box and things like that. This is a great one. And Molo 17 built an application for the Italian Coast Guard for the Trieste regatta called Barcolona. And what this does, it's a rescue application, but it's a really simple rescue application. It's just got one big button that says help, and it notifies the Coast Guard as to what your geographic location is on, at sea, and dispatches a Coast Guard ship. Now, the cleverness here is that as ships are going by each other, whether or not there's internet connectivity, they're using peer-to-peer sync to transfer the data to the next boat, because if that boat gets closer to port or closer to shore, the signal will end up getting back to the Coast Guard. They saved 10 boats right during the regatta out of 7,000 application-enabled vessels. Emirates redesigned their pre-flight checklist and put it on hardened tablets using Couchbase Mobile, because we all know that your internet signal stinks at the gate at the airport. So, and their first iteration of this application was to just do a web page, and thinking that it was always going to be online. The pilots barfed all over it, right? They wouldn't accept it. So they redesigned it using Couchbase Lite as the store, and they even do a backup to an SD card on the same device. So they've got immediate copy of the data on every one of these devices, but it also syncs with the flight crew. It syncs, the pilots to the flight crew, to the maintenance crew, to the boarding crew. And all of those, when the maintenance person goes back to the hangar where the connectivity is good, that's when everything syncs back up to the main Emirates headquarters. So offline first application in a pretty human critical kind of activity. Carnival Cruise, the one I mentioned earlier, right? They describe themselves as being the largest experience organization in the world. And so their whole goal is to make you happy and want to go on another cruise. And the way that they do this is they try and personalize your experience as best they can. So that ocean medallion on the Princess cruise boats is actually, an identifier. So they know that I like a Bloody Mary at brunch, but they also remember that my kids like French toast. And they also remember that, what I ordered in the casino, if I change my location and go to the pool, my Bloody Mary follows me there. But you can imagine that if, a shipload of people, right, all of those users participating and using this application to enhance their experience, what if all those passengers on any voyage just spent an extra $100 on on the voyage? That could be like an excursion, maybe a nice meal in the fancy restaurant, maybe an extra bottle of wine, right? But you take 3,000 passengers times that $100 against 30 ships and 40 voyages a year, and the money gets pretty significant. And then if just 15% of them rebook for next year, the money gets even more significant for all of those passengers. So that's kind of the value that we see that we're able to help deliver through Carnival, the parent company of Princess Cruise, in kind of this particular use case. So FICO, like I said, I mentioned, they're doing fraud detection. So very likely 2/3 of your credit cards in your pocket are being overseen and babysat by Couchbase. LinkedIn, your LinkedIn feed is being delivered through Couchbase. They have more than 200 projects inside of LinkedIn. They're very independent from Microsoft and are delivering that high-speed experience to them. And then my last slide of the day, in Couchbase itself, right? The way that you should look at things is, we touch you in many, many situations, whether you're sending a PayPal request or money, whether your Pepsi's delivering your Tostitos, whether you're streaming Yellowstone, whether you're checking your health application or going to Louis Vuitton, or checking the leaderboard on the FIFA application at EA Sports, or getting a fraud detection warning. All of those are situations where Couchbase is powering those applications, and it all really boils down to how personalized can you manage your account profiles, and can you match that to that big dynamic catalog that's going on behind the scenes.